All right. Hi guys, happy Friday. I'm really hoping that we're gonna work today. So I've been having issues with my videos cutting out about 40 minutes, every 40 minutes, and I don't know what the problem is. So I'm gonna try on my computer. I've been using an iPad and I'm gonna just try on my computer and see how it goes. So I really hope that we get to make it to the end of the video. I do want to say though that if for some reason I get cut off again, stay on. I will come right back on and we'll finish the class. So yeah, that's until I can figure out exactly what is happening. That's kind of what we're gonna do. So happy Friday. We are gonna get into some shoulders today. Yeah, so shoulders are spicy and hey, oh yay, hey Shelby. Shoulders are spicy, usually. Mine are, especially my right arm, is extra spicy. So I'm assuming that a lot of people have been kind of doing this a lot, you know, see my computer in front of me. So we're just gonna talk to some shoulders and see if we can get them to open up a little bit. Some mobility work today with shoulders. It might be something that you've not done before. And just a little caveat, if I could say, can you just kind of give me a bit of attention and really watch? I'm going to show exactly what I want you to try and do. I'm a very visual learner. That doesn't mean that you are a visual learner, but maybe just watch and see how I'm moving my body and what I'm doing with my shoulders and my hands, especially. After I show you what I'm doing, then I will, you know, talk you through doing it. The real hard part is I can't see y'all, so I can't say something that you might be doing and correct your form, but I'm gonna say some things that I know tends to happen. So anyway, a lot of words just to say, yeah, have a quick look before you just jump in to whatever it is that we're doing. So anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. Let's move our bodies. We're going to start first in child's pose. I feel unsettled. I'll be honest. I feel very unsettled today. The wind yesterday was rough for me. The wind today is kind of rough for me. Allergies are climbing. So I'm going to take a couple of moments to find child's pose and breathe. So do that with me. Settle your knees out a little bit wide. Toes are going to come together. You'll reach your hips back and then just extend forward. Trying to find a comfortable space. Let your forehead come down toward the earth. And take some grounding breaths. So let your inhale be full. Long exhale. Every breath allowing your mind to settle in, your body to relax into the breath. Notice any part of your body that needs a little extra attention with your exhale. Softening through that space. Often my shoulders tend to get a little bit tense and live up near my ears. Try to relax your exhale into your shoulders. Take 2 more breaths. And finish your exhale. Come on up to a tabletop position here. Let's take a couple cat-cows, finding some movement with your spine. As you inhale, lift your tailbone, lifting your head and your heart, sagging through the middle of your shoulders. As you exhale, reversing that, tuck your tailbone under, round, push the ground away, chin coming to your chest. And then just notice the movement of your spine. If you need to stay in any spot, stay for a couple of breaths, or moving through your cat-cow with your inhale and exhale, allowing any organic movements to happen in your body if that feels nice, looking back towards your opposite heel, rolling your rib cage around, doing some barrel rolls if that feels good. Take 2 more breaths. Coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to thread the needle. So as you inhale, reach your right arm high. As you exhale, send it through underneath your left arm. Your shoulder will come to the ground. As you rotate, lifting your elbow maybe to the ceiling, fingertips pressing into the ground. Try to give a little bit more light here. Take 1 more breath. Finish your exhale, release, inhaling your right arm back high, and come to the other side. Left arm is going to inhale up. Feel your spine rotate as you slide your left shoulder down. Maybe lifting your right elbow up to the ceiling, pushing your fingertips into the ground. Stay for 1 more breath. Finish your exhale and slowly release, coming back out with the inhale, left arm high. We're going to take puppy pose. If you happen to have blocks next to you, you might use them. You would bring them out in front of you just to elevate your arms a little bit more. It's absolutely not necessary. Walk your knees back quite a bit. Send your tailbone high as you open through the shoulders, extending down. The blocks are nice because if your shoulders give you that openness, you can still get just a little bit deeper. Notice that your rib cage is really extending here. So chest extending, rib cage expanding. Let your breath get you a little bit deeper, exhaling into the openness of the shoulders. Take 1 more breath. Finish your exhale, lifting back up on your inhale. If you have your blocks, you can either use them for down dog or remove them from your mat. Flip your toes, lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Let's take some time here. Hopefully you've been getting out and maybe walking a good bit, so your calves might be feeling life a little bit. Press 1 heel to the ground at a time. Notice your lower belly lifting in your downward facing dog. Maybe shaking your hips side to side here. I always like to shake my head out in down dog, loosen up the neck. When you feel ready, come into stillness in your down dog and just become aware of your breath. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your nose. On your next inhale, shift forward into plank pose. Lift up onto your tiptoes. Let your tailbone start to tuck toward your heels as you roll forward into plank pose, lengthening the back of your neck. And then push back into down dog on your exhale, tailbone leading opening through the shoulders. Inhale up onto your tiptoes, rolling the spine forward, tailbones tucking down, lengthen the back of your neck. Exhale, lead with your tailbone into your down dog. So go through that movement a couple of times. Inhale, toe up onto your toes, tuck the tailbone as you lengthen forward into plank. Notice your rib cage hugging in together. Lead with your tailbone as you come all the way back into down dog. 2 more. Inhale up, squeeze and knit your rib cage together, lifting your lower belly, lengthening the back of the neck. Lead with the tailbone as you come into down dog. Last one. Use your breath. Inhale shifts you forward to plank. And exhale, downward facing. Take your feet and walk your feet all the way up to meet your hands. Coming into forward fold. I like to keep my feet hip width apart here. And let the weight of your upper body just hang down your legs. So you can cross your arms at your elbows, letting gravity take over, sway side to side if you like that. Notice length to your spine first, and then length to the back side of your legs. So spine is getting long first, rather than just trying to straighten your legs. Take one more breath. Finish your exhale, release your hands to the ground. Let's heel toe the feet together. Inhale with a half lift, long spine. Notice the belly button lifting as you lengthen your spine. Exhale into your forward fold. We'll root to rise. Inhale all the way up, coming through a bit of a flow here. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Step back to a plank pose. We're going to lower all the way down, rooting your tailbone toward your heels, push the ground away. Feel like you're resisting the ground the whole time as you slowly lower, elbows tapping back as much as they can. As you inhale, come up into cobra, lifting your head and your heart, also your lower belly. Notice a squeeze through your inner thighs as much as you can. Take one more inhale. We'll move to child's pose on your exhale. Knees will slide out wide, toes to touch. One full breath in child's pose. Bring your inhale up to tabletop. Exhale sends you to downward facing dog. Full breath. Take an inhale, look forward, step your feet to meet your hands on your exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Inhale, reach up, gaze toward your thumbs. And exhale, fall all the way forward into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Step yourself back to a plank pose. Again, slow lower all the way down. Take your time. Choose to come to your knees if that helps your body quite a bit. Slide your shoulders away from your ears. Zipping your legs together at your inner thighs. Inhale into Cobra Bhujangasana. Lower belly is lifting. From here, you're going to reach back toward your feet. Interlace your fingers behind you and squeeze to lift up a little higher. Now, if that grab behind you isn't quite available yet, you could grab a strap and use a strap to hold your hands here. Okay, so up to what your body is giving you. Try to keep lifting your lower belly off the ground. Stay for one more full breath. Finish your exhale. Slowly release your hands. Place them underneath your shoulders. Take an inhale and child's pose on your exhale. Full breath. Inhale, come up to tabletop. And downward facing dog, exhale. Full breath, down dog. Finish your exhale, look forward, step your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lengthen. From your halfway lengthen, from your half lift, interlace your fingers behind you again. Squeeze and lift your chest as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold with bound arms behind you. So you could keep your feet about hip width apart here if that serves your balance a little bit better. Squeeze the hands together. Notice a big opening through the shoulders, also letting the back of your neck go. So you're reaching the crown of your head toward the ground. Allowing gravity to pull at the arms. Again, if interlacing your hands behind you isn't available this morning, go ahead and grab your strap. You can use the strap to allow that to happen. Let's stay for one more breath. Keep your arms bound. Inhale, lead with your head and your heart. Your arms will start to come toward your low back. Once you get high enough, you can release your hands up. Inhale, reach toward the ceiling. Grab your left wrist. Lift up on your inhale. Push your hips to the left as you come to the right side of your mat, lengthening the left side of the body. So I'm going to alter it. You would look here. Feel the left side of your body getting nice and long. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale. Inhale is going to bring you back to center. Grab your right wrist. Lift up on your inhale. Let your exhale take you deep. Hips to the right. Arms reach to the left. Take one more exhale. You'll release on an inhale. We're going to go backwards here just a little bit. This time, you're going to take your hands behind you interlaced again. Squeeze your palms together. Again, the strap, if that serves you better. I'll do it with the strap here. So squeezing behind you as much as you can. From here, tuck your tailbone toward your heels. Feel your heart lifting and gaze up to the ceiling. Start to look back. Notice your hips shifting forward. Keep lifting through your heart center as you look back. Let your breath still happen. Try to feel a big lengthening to the front side of the body. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale. Inhale is going to lift you. Release your arms. Forward fold on your exhale all the way down. Take a moment here. Shake your head out. On your next inhale, half lift. One more. Step back to plank pose. Strong lower all the way down. Take your time getting there. It doesn't have to be just one exhale. Feel your shoulders rooting into your back as you lower down. Keep your knees active. Again, lifting up into Bhujangasana Cobra on your inhale. Tops of the feet are touching the ground. Lower belly is lifting as you lift into your low back. From here, you're going to take your arms and reach them straight out to the sides. Take an inhale, lift up a little bit higher. Keep your tops of your feet into the ground. On your next exhale, reach your hands toward your feet. So keep reaching down and back now. Still lifting your arms away from the ground. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale, release your hands back underneath your shoulders. Take an inhale, child's pose on your exhale. Full breath. Inhale brings you up to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Finish your exhale, and we're going to slowly just lower onto your knees. All right, so what we're going to do is take a strap. You can use a tie, you can use a robe, belt, anything. An elastic strap, one that's actually stretchy as well. So what we're going to do is work some shoulders. We're going to go up and over. This can be pretty spicy, so I want you to listen to your body and go slowly as much as you need to, okay? So with your hands on the strap, palms are going to be facing back, okay? You can come onto your knees to do this. You can be doing it standing, up to you. You're going to take your arms up and reach them toward the ceiling. Reach them around the circle. So keep trying to drive the tips of your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Keep your rib cage nice and strong and together. So sometimes when our arms come back behind our head, our rib cage extends and opens, and then we get the butt sticking out, and we take it all the way around so that the strap is touching your bum. Okay, what you want to do is keep your rib cage in, keep your tailbone rooting down so that you have a nice straight spine. Drive the tips of your shoulder blades into your back pockets as you take your arms all the way up and around again. Okay, so we're doing full circles with the strap. Arms are going to come up, drive the tips of the shoulder blades into the back pockets as you take them all the way around. Now, if your shoulder is talking to you right about here and you're like, whoa, I can't do that, stay here, stop there, and then come all the way up and over, okay? Go to your mobility, all right? Not mine, but yours. Also noticing that you're trying to push your hands back as much as you are, not necessarily wide. So sometimes when we come back behind the head, we start to go really wide with the hands, and then the strap is really close to you. You want to go back as much as your arms will let you, keeping the rib cage in. So that's kind of the money shot right there. If you can make that access, that happen in your body. So just keep playing around with it. And again, like I said, this is a little bit going to be a little strange because I can't see how many you're doing, how it looks. So just keep moving. And it almost looks like one of my shoulders is working quicker, but I think that that's just the camera angle. One is working a little harder than the other. Try to keep your arms pushing back at the same angle. It looks like I'm in tilt-a-whirl. All right, let's take one or two more. Hopefully you're finding access to your shoulders in a little different way. When you are done, if you've been done for a while, give yourself a little shake. Okay, so we're going to start some potentially unique shoulder mobility. I do this in the classes that I teach at Ascent, and it's really, truly fantastic for, I mean, it's fantastic for anyone, but it's especially fantastic for climbing. So if you're a climber and you're joining me, great. If you're you know, an athlete of any sort, it's going to be good for you. You might not think that in the moment, so just give me a couple minutes. Give your shoulders some time to kind of get on board with this and see how it goes. All right, so I'm going to show you, again, this is going to feel a little tutorial-like. I'm going to show you laying down. Actually, nope, I'm going to show you sitting up, and then I'll show you laying down what it will actually look like. So pretend like I'm laying down right now with my face down. I'm laying on my stomach on my mat. I'm going to extend my arms straight up. So with my, so wild to try and do this in the screen. With my palms facing together and my thumbs facing up, I'm going to lift my arms. My legs are together and down on the ground. I'm going to lift my arms up off of the ground. As I start to rotate my arms out to the side, palms are going to start to face to the ground. Thumbs are up. And then you're going to rotate so that your thumbs start to go down. Reach down your legs with your palms away, thumbs up. And then you're going to reach up your back. One hand is going to lead as you come up your back as high as you can, and then let your hands release to your low back. Then you'll lift up and reverse the process. Lift your hands, reach down your legs, slide the tips of your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Take your arms around, let the rotation happen. Palms face down, arms reach up and over, thumbs up, palms in. Okay, so if you feel like you're ready to follow along, we're going to lay down on the ground, prone, so on your stomach, with both arms over your head, biceps kind of right by your ears, thumbs up, palms in. Your head is going to be down on the ground. Mine is not, so that I can talk to you and you can actually hear me. So from here, you're going to lift your arms up wherever you can. Then start to slide your arms out to the side so they come in line with your shoulders. Let your palms face down. Thumbs are going to start to turn toward the ground as you reach down your legs. Keep rotating so your thumbs are up and palms are facing away from your body. And then reach up your back with one hand leading. Go up as high as you can and then release your hands to your back. Then you'll lift them up off your back.
Reach down your legs, thumbs up, palms away. Take your arms out to the side. Rotating, thumbs are going to start to rotate toward the ground, then forward, palms facing the ground. As you rotate back up over your head, palms toward each other, thumbs up, and release your hands to the ground. So that's one. We're going to do two on each side being your other hand is now going to lead up your back. So here we go. Lift your arms up off the ground. Rotate your arms out to the side, letting your palms face down, thumbs forward. Keep rotating so your thumbs face down, palms away. Reaching down your legs. Now reach up your back with the other hand leading. Go up as high as you can. And then let your hands release to the ground, to your low back. Lift up. Reach down your legs, thumbs up, palms away. Slide your arms out to the side, rotating so your thumbs rotate down, then forward. Then reach your arms toward above your head, thumbs up, palms in, and release. You'll do one more on each side, the same, okay? So lifting up, reach your arms out to the side, thumbs start to point forward, palms down, thumbs rotate to the ground as you reach back toward your legs, palms away. Reach up your back with the first hand that you started with. Up as high as you can. Let your hands come to your back. Lift up. Reach down your legs. Thumbs up, palms away. As you rotate your arms out to the side, let your palms start to rotate to the ground. Thumbs will start to rotate up, palms toward each other. Arms released. One more. Lift up. Take your arms around, out to the side, rotating palms to the ground. Thumbs will rotate down, reach down your legs. Up with the opposite hand, up your back. Release your hands. Lift your hands back up. Reach down your legs. Thumbs up, palms away. Reach around, rotating at your hands. Thumbs up, palms in. And release. And take a moment with that. If you're starting to like sweat profusely and you're not sure why, I get it. This kind of movement, that tends to happen quite a bit. So give yourself a break. It's totally unique movement, something that you probably haven't done too much. Okay, so again, if you've taken my class, my shoulder mobility class, anytime I get blocks out with shoulders, people kind of give me, you know, groans and moans and looks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're going there. So if you don't have blocks, guys, you're going to put books, grab some books just to go up and over. You just need two, all right? I'm just continuing to, as the sun kind of goes behind the clouds, it's just changing the look in here. So, all right, you're gonna lay down on the ground and I'm gonna show you this way. I think that will be the easiest way. So my thumbs are going to be up, my palms are going to be facing each other, okay? So from here, you're going to lay down, arms are straight out in front of you. Forehead is down on the mat again, squeezing your inner thighs together. You're going to set your block height or your book height in a way that you're going to be able to make it up and over these, okay? So I'm going to start on a lower bit, thumbs up, palms in. With your forehead down, you're going to lift your arms up off the ground, take them up and over the blocks, and then bring your arms right back down. Then you're going to lift again, take your hands in over the blocks the other way, and then come right back down. So you're going up and over both directions with your thumbs up and your palms in. So let's try and do about 8 or so of those. Your forehead is down. Your inner thighs are touching, and you're really trying to just lift with the extension of your shoulders, okay? So let's try about 8 of those. I'm just gonna kind of keep talking you through it. Notice your shoulder blades kind of look like this into your back. And you wanna keep
driving your shoulder blades into the back pockets, okay? So keep them squeezing down as much as you can as you're lifting and taking them out to the side. Lift, take them in, back in. Once you're done with 8 of those, we're gonna take it out to the side, okay? So then you'll take your blocks, and your blocks are gonna go about 10 and 2. Same concept. Thumbs are gonna start up. You're gonna lift your arms up, flatten your hands as they go over the blocks, and then take your hands down. Keep your palms facing the ground as you lift up. As you rotate back, thumbs up, palms in, and take them right back down. So the blocks are a little wider, like 10 and 2. Arms are gonna be a little wider. So you're starting with your thumbs up, palms in. You're gonna lift up, flatten your hands as you go over the blocks, and then place your hands back down. Lift up again, take your hands over the blocks, thumbs up, palms in, and then bring them back down. So do about 8 of those. Keep rolling with that. Just give you a little bit of time. Feel the tips of the shoulder blades continue to slide down into your back pockets. Allow that to happen. Something that's hard are lower traps doing the work there, rhomboids in the back of your body doing the work there. Trying not to use your upper traps. Your upper traps want to bring your shoulders up high. Trying not to let that happen. A couple more breaths there. Perfect. Hopefully you're close to being done. You can use the blocks on this one. It's really not necessary. What we're going to do is lay down on your stomach again, and your arms are going to be about 4 and 7 o'clock. With your forehead down, palms down, take your shoulder blades, squeeze them into your back, and lift your hands up off the ground as high as they will, and then slowly lower back down. Slide your shoulder blades into your back pockets, lift, and slowly lower back down. Do that about 8 times. Make it intentional every time. Slide the tips of your shoulder blades into your back pockets, lift the hands up, and slowly release back down. Lift, and slowly release back down. Lift, slowly release, slide, lift, slowly release, slide, lift, slowly release. Last one, slide, lift, and slowly release. My body always craves a version of puppy after stuff like that. So arms extend, tailbone lifting up, stretch the shoulders out. Again, you could be on your blocks if you wanted. You could also take a narrow child's pose, reaching back toward your heels and letting your shoulders just release over your knees. One more breath. And go ahead and lift up. We're gonna have a seat and take a spinal twist. Sometimes when you do shoulder stuff, your postural muscles really talk to you, upper back here. So let's take a twist. You're gonna extend your right leg out. Left leg is gonna come up and over. Fingertips facing away from your bum with your left hand. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, take your elbow to the outside of the knee. Lift up as you twist and look around. Notice your breath getting you a little deeper into this twist. One more exhale. And release your gaze, unwind the body. Coming to the other side. Extend the leg, take the knee up and over. Inhale, arm high. I rushed it there. Exhale, take your twist. Take one more breath. Finish your exhale, release, and unwind the body. Bottoms of the feet are going to come together, knees open wide, and you're going to hinge forward into a diamond fold, hinging, reaching your elbows over. Let the back of your head go. Taking a couple breaths here. One more. Finish your exhale and release. We're going to come onto hands and knees and get a little bit of hips here. So you can move your blocks if you have those. I think we did this in the very first class that I did online. So if you joined me there, this might be familiar to you, or if you've come to my class, this would be familiar too. We're going to do a couple versions of some hip openers. So we're going to start on knees. We'll end up standing up, and then we'll also end up doing some 90-90 rotations, okay? So from your knees, your spine is going to be nice and long. Let's let your left toes come under so that you're kind of balanced with your left leg, rather than keeping the tops of your left foot down. Tuck your toes under. From here, lengthen your spine, lift your lower belly, and lengthen the back of your neck. Take your right knee, hug your right knee in toward your chest, keeping your hips flat. Flex your right foot as you lift your foot and your knee out to the side. You're going to start to draw a little line with your leg. So let your heel reach back. Your knee is lifting. As you rotate, your knee is going to start to point toward the ground. Heel is lifting. Your lower belly is also lifting. And then you'll bring your knees back together to meet. Then you'll lift your heel up behind you. Take your knee, point your knee to the side, letting your knee come toward your right tricep. Trying to squeeze through the core, feel the obliques there, and then let your knees come together to meet. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Tuck your right toes. Let your left knee come into your chest. Trying to keep your spine as long as you can. Knee hugs in. Try not to curl and round into that movement. And then let your knee lift out to the side, flexing your foot. Lift your heel, lift your knee. Push your foot behind you, kind of going up and over like a fire hydrant. Let your knee start to point to the ground. Heel lifts. Internally rotating your thigh. And then let your knees come together to meet. And reversing that. Lift your heel, lift your knee. Lower belly also lifting. Lengthen the back of your neck. Let your knee start to point out to the side as you bring your knee toward your left tricep without changing the shape of your spine as much as you can. And then bring the knee together to meet. We'll do that 2 more times each side. So right leg, knee to chest. Spine stays long and hips stay silent. So your hips aren't shifting side to side. Lift your knee, lift your foot. Take it up and around. Letting your foot come in line with your bum. Let your knees start to point toward the ground, internally rotating at the hip. And then bring the knees together. Lift the knee, lift the heel. Find your end range there. Knee's going to point out to the side. Keep your heel lifted as you bring your knee toward your tricep, trying not to crunch into the spine. And then bringing it to the other side. Same thing on the left side. Let your knee come in toward your chest. Knee and heel lift out to the side. Finding your end range of the lateral motion. Let your heel reach behind you. Knee's going to start to point down, lower belly lifting. Knees come together to meet. Again, lift the heel, lift the knee. Bring it out to the side. Knee is going to come toward the tricep. And then knees come together to meet. Do 1 more each side. Turns out my computer dies fast, so I'm going to go get my charger. Do 1 more each side. All right, I'm gonna assume that you guys are close. Turns out just, you know, technology is not my friend, but we're good. Hopefully we're gonna make it past the 40 minute point and it's not gonna end. Cool, so let's go ahead and do that same concept, but standing, okay? So you might want to do this holding on to the wall just a little bit. Let me just plug this in real quick. I think we're good. Okay, and we're back. All right, so you might want to hold on to the wall for this. We're going to do a similar version of what we were just doing, except now we're standing up. So with your lower belly lifted and your tailbone kind of rooting down, you'll lift your right leg up. Okay, so I'll try to do this facing you. Lift your right knee up so your knee is bent at a 90-degree bend. Trying to stay balanced here, let your knee come out to the side. Again, hold on to something if that helps you. Your knee is going to open out to the side as much as you can with your pelvis staying neutral. You're going to lift your heel behind you, start to rotate. Your knee is going to point forward. As you let your foot come behind, your knee will start to point down to the ground. Heel is lifting. Let me show you what that looks like from the back. Just similar to where we just were. Lower belly lifting. Then let your knees come together to meet. You're going to lift your heel, lift your knee behind you, lower belly lifting. Let your knee come around the side so that it's in line with your hips. Heel is going to come underneath you so that you look open like this. And then knee comes forward to release. Again, holding onto the wall if you need that, all right? So same thing, other side. Left knee is going to lift. Flexing your left foot, take your leg out to the side, open wide. So you're open here as much as you can, hips open to the front. Lift your heel behind you, letting your knees start to point forward. Notice I'm not lifting and hiking this hip up. Keep your hips as flat as you can. Let your foot come behind you. Your knee is going to start to point toward the ground as your heel comes in line with your bum. Lower belly lifting, then let your knees come together to meet. Show you from the side. Lift your heel, lift your knee, lower belly as well. Knee is going to come out to the side. As you rotate out to the side, your knee comes in line with your hip, and then your heel comes underneath you. And then bring your knee back in front. It's a really big movement. This is not my first rodeo with this movement, and my hips are kind of used to it. So if you're like, well, I'm kind of down here doing it, is that right? The answer is yes. If you're trying to lift your hips up to make the movement bigger, looks like a dance move or something, okay? If you're trying to do that, that's where I want you to just keep your hips as stationary and as flat as you can and let your hip mobility be what it is, okay? So let's do that again. Start with your right knee lifting. Keep your hips as flat as you can, not hiking with one hip. Take your knee out to the side, open wide. Then you're going to lift your heel behind you, let your knee start to point forward. Kicking your heel behind you, your knee will start to rotate down, internally rotating at your femur. Lower belly is lifting, and then knees come together to meet. Lift your heel, lift your knee. Take the knee out to the side, rotating, trying not to hike with the hip. Let the heel come underneath you, and then rotate the knee forward to release. I'm shaking. I hope you are. Left leg is going to come up. Left knee lifts. Take it out to the side. This would be another one where you start to kind of sweat. You're like, I don't know why I'm sweating. I feel like I shouldn't be sweating on this. You should be. Lift your heel behind you. Point your knee forward. Reach around, trying to keep your knee and your heel as high as you can, internally rotating at your femur here. Lower belly lifting. Knees come together to meet. Lift your heel, lift your knee. Ooh, knee comes around the side. Keep focused, let your knee come in line with your hip, drop your heel under, and knees come forward to release. Shake that action out. If you want to do a figure 4, cross one leg over the other, sit it back. I'm like hearing the screams and the exhales as we do that movement through the screen. Maybe that's just my own hips saying thank you for that movement. Just change to the other side on your figure 4. Woo! All right. We're gonna try one more move. Okay, so if you needed a little bit extra time in that figure 4, feel free to do that. You can do it seated while you kind of get an idea of what our next movement and shape looks like. So again, we're gonna come into a 90-90 shape with the legs. So my front leg is almost a 90-degree bend with my knee in line with my hip. My back leg is a 90-degree bend with my heel, ankle, knee, hip. Okay, now that might be too extreme of a shape for your body. Like if you're leaning way to the side and you can't maintain that, I want you to bring your heels in just slightly and create a little bit less aggressive of a shape for your body. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open and lift up through our hips, drop back down, rotate through the 90-90, lift up, drop back down, rotate. Okay, so a little different than what we've done before. So I'm going to drive my front shin into the ground so that I can push and lift my hips up and out. I'm opening through the hip flexors here. So I'm driving my front shin into the ground. Then I'm going to hinge at my hips to slowly lower back down, trying to make this movement as controlled as I can. I'm going to slowly lower my left bum back down. And if you have your right leg out in front, if you will, that's fine. We're going to go to the other side. Then we're going to lift the back knee up and rotate through the center. So the knees are going to be open wide and feet are flexing. Lift up as tall as you can through the center. Now we'll drop it down to the other side, lifting up nice and tall. So now you're on the other side with the 90-90. Make any adjustments that you need to. Push into your front shin. Okay, this is my right leg. You're going to push into your front shin, lift your lower belly to lift out of that 90-90, opening the hips up. Slowly lower back down, letting your hips come to the ground as controlled as you can make it. Then you're going to lift the back knee, lift both knees, keep both knees open wide, flex your feet, feel your spine as tall as it can through the middle, and then drop into the other side. Without rushing this, okay, so give yourself time, push your front shin into the ground to lift up, open up, trying not to shift as much as possible. Slow lower back down. Keep your core engaged. Control that movement as much as you can. And then bring the heel up, or the knee up, excuse me. As you come through the center, lift up as tall as possible. Your hands could be behind you too, that might serve you well. Rotating into the other side. Pushing your front shin into the ground. Your sternum or heart center is about middle of your front shin, just for kind of proportions, if you will. Push into your front shin to lift up as much as possible without shifting, and then lower back down slow. Controlling that movement, lifting your knees through the middle, rotating, open as high, as much as you can, coming to the other side. Let's do one more, both sides. And if you're like traveling off your mat, that's very common. All right, so again, push into your front shin. So I say without shifting, this is what that looks like. You kind of shift forward like this to propel yourself up. Try to do that as minimally as possible. Push down into your front shin and front foot to access the lift from your hips. And then slow lower back down. Control the landing. Lift your knees up through the center, open up wide, lower belly lifting. As you take it over to the other side, pushing the front shin down to lift straight up. Active, active through the sides of the body as well. Slow lower back down. One more time, just lifting up through the middle. And shake your legs out. Usually I get up and I walk around in class so I can check the form because those hurt so much. All this stuff is so tough, but so good for hips. All right, let's stretch it out just a little bit. We're gonna do some hip bridging so we can get into the glutes just a little bit. But first, hip bridge, I want you just to take it into a really comfortable position. Okay, so you're gonna lay onto your back. If you have a block and you'd like to use a block underneath your sacrum, feel free. You're gonna lift up. If you have a block and you wanna slide it underneath your bum, put it right at your sacrum. Let your arms relax. Let your pelvis just melt into the block. Let your breath come back to you. If you're in a more active version of hip bridge, you might have your hands interlaced behind you, rolling your shoulders together, lifting through your hips, opening up your hip flexors. Take one more nice breath. Remove the block from underneath you if you have it and slowly lower back down. We're going to do an active hip bridge here. So with your heels somewhat close to your bum, now you want to feel this on the back side of your body, not your quads. So I've noticed that sometimes sliding your heels forward just slightly takes the energy away from your quads. Also push down into the ground with your heels and slightly away from you. That will also help send the energy into your glutes and your hamstrings, okay? So with your hands right by your sides, palms facing down, you're gonna push into your heels, pushing down and away slightly, lift up, keep your core engaged. Notice if you can tuck your tailbone toward your knees, find your rib cage, squeeze your rib cage together, so you're really strong through the core as much as possible. Keep pushing your heels down and away. A couple of options here. Push into your right heel to lift your left leg straight up without shifting or moving anything. Left leg's going to go straight to the ceiling. And slowly lower. Try not to drop your left hip at all. Put it right back down, hip width apart. Push into your left heel to lift your right leg. Keep reaching with your right hip. Slow lower back down. Put it right back where it was, hip width apart, push into your right heel, lift your left leg. Slow lower back down. Push into your left, lift your right. Slow lower back down. We're gonna go 2 more each side. Push into your right foot to lift your left leg. Slow lower down. Push into your left heel, lift your right. Slow lower back down. Push into right, lift your left. Keep strong through both hips. Slow lower back down. Last one, push into your left heel to lift your right. Slow lower back down, push into both heels, lift your hips up just a little bit more, tuck your tailbone toward your knees a lot. One more breath. And release your glutes. Take a moment, bring your knees up toward your armpits, just to the side of your rib cage. Little rock side to side. Grab the insides of your arches for happy baby. Let your knees open wide, rocking side to side. Hopefully I'm not the only one who's sweating over here. Feels like I'm doing a hot yoga class. In your happy baby shape, as you rock to the right side, start to extend your right leg. Extending it maybe towards straight, maybe not. And then bend it in as you rock to the left side, extend your left leg out. And go side to side with that. Rocking to the right side, extending your right leg. Rocking to the left side, extending your left leg. Take it one more time. And then take your knees together.
Legs go straight up, and you're going to open your legs into a straddle shape. Maybe resting your hands on the insides of your knees or on the insides of your inner thighs. Maybe resting out toward your calves. And just take a little shift side to side. So you're kind of rocking your legs, your extended legs, rocking one foot toward the ground and then the other. Keep your face relaxed here. Finish by bending your knees in toward each other and then rock and roll it up. All right, so we're gonna do a quick pigeon here. Disclaimer, if you are just dying to go into folded pigeon, traditional pigeon, please. We're gonna take a more active approach. It's just a different version. Okay, so let's have the left leg stay up. Your right leg is gonna extend back behind you for traditional pigeon pose. Back knee is turned under. Back toes are down. The farther your front heel gets away from your body, the bigger of an ask it is. So I'm going to kind of face you here. So the farther that this heel is under you, the more available the posture becomes. The farther away, the bigger of an ask it is on your hip. So you choose what works best for you. Keep your back toes. Let's see, how could I rotate? Keep your back toes down. Your heel is lifted if that works for your body. Okay, so from here, something that we did in the 90-90 was the push down with the front shin. That's what we're gonna do here. So your hands could be by your sides. Keep your lower belly lifting up. So notice as you lift your lower belly up, does it kind of root your tailbone down a little bit? It should, okay? So from here, you're gonna push into your front shin to lift your hips up out of the pigeon, if you will, and then slow lower back down. We're gonna do that 3 times. Push your front shin down to lift your hips up, kind of squeezing, lifting up, and then slow lower back down. Take it one more, push down to lift up, and slow lower back down. Now, if when you were up and lifted, if this was like 100%, say 100% strength for you, I want you to soften that down about 60%. And hold, okay? So I'm up and lifted, and I'm softening that push down of my front shin about 40%. I'm softening at 40%. So this is like 60% work, okay? Keep that, so your hips are up and lifted, and maybe walk your hands forward slightly. I'm not gonna go onto my elbows because I'm really kind of trying to stay active through the hips as much as possible rather than compressing down into my joint, okay? So keep pushing your front shin into the ground. Stay for one more breath. On your exhale, let everything go. So you're still in your pigeon. You're gonna let your hips drop to the ground and just see how that feels. Now maybe extend your pigeon and come to your elbows. Let your back toes tuck under so the top of your foot is in the ground. Still up and lifted if you can handle it. Stay for one more breath. Take your right hand and rotate it toward your left elbow. So it's kind of in the same angle. It's parallel almost with your shin. Take your left hand on top of your left knee and push your upper body to the right side. So your rotating right side body is getting long as you're lifting your left shoulder on top of the right. A little more active approach to a pigeon twist. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale. Slowly unwind. I'm just going to bring back leg forward. So to shift your hips on your weight onto your left hip, bring your right leg around and switch sides. If you need a down dog, shake the leg out, all that stuff, go for it. So with your right leg out in front, you're going to extend the left leg behind you. Again, toes down, knee down. The farther you take your front heel away from you, remember, the bigger of an ask it is. Try to even yourself out. Lower belly is lifted. So we're going to push into the front shin to lift up as much as you can.
Really, really active through the front leg, and then slow lower back down. Remember, your hands are grounded. You're going to push down to lift up again. Strong. Keep the lower belly lifting. We want the tailbone rooting toward the ground. And then lower back down. One more, guys. Push down to lift up. Active, active, active. And slow lower back down. Right, so now we're going to push up and try to hold about 60%, okay? And then we'll walk it forward. Keep pushing down. Ooh, this side is a little bit bigger of an ask for my body. So I'm not going to release onto my elbows just yet. Doesn't quite feel like it wants to. So again, your hips are still lifted. You're still pushing into your front shin. About 60% effort. If you feel like you can release onto your elbows, maybe my body's going to let me. Relaxing through your forehead on your exhale. Stay for one more. Still pushing into your front shin. On your next exhale, let your hips drop to the ground. Release your back toes under. Try to resist folding all the way down. So stay on your elbows, relax your shoulders. Keep the left hip trying to rotate toward the ground as much as you can. The front side of your hip. Take one more big exhale. And then we're going to rotate the hand. So the left hand is going to come toward your right elbow. Your right hand is going to go onto your knee, your right knee, and then you'll push. Bring the left side body through as your right shoulder lifts on top of your left. Wow, this side is spicy. It's good, yeah? Oh my goodness. Woo. Let your breath work for you here. Soften on your exhale. One more breath. Finish your exhale. Unwind the body. Lifting up. Slide your back leg forward. Shake your legs out. Well, I think it's time for Shavasana, I feel. And we made it. We made it all the way through without the video stopping. This is exciting news. What a great Friday. Okay, I am going to set you up in your Shavasana. And then I'm going to trust that you're going to give yourself as long of a Shavasana as you can. Now, if it needs to be short because we're a little bit at the end, understandable. If you can come back to a longer Shavasana later, please, it's always available. Just lay on the ground anywhere. You don't even have to have your mat out. So coming into your most comfortable version of Shavasana. For me, after a class like that, I'm going to take Star Shavasana. So legs are kind of open wide, lay down, and you kind of look like you've just been thrown like a frisbee onto the ground. And just allow your breath to melt you into the ground. Allow your mind to be supple, knowing that you can give yourself space between thought. Believing that the important thoughts will come back to you, but also knowing that you truly can let things go. Emotion, experiences, thoughts, not necessarily allowing them to rule our mind or our body. As you experience your Shavasana, just continue to ask yourself if you can go deeper. Can you utilize your breath a little bit deeper? Can you experience the release a little bit deeper? Again, thank you guys for joining me. It's always a pleasure to see you either here or hopefully one day in person again. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank yourself for being on your mat. Please stay in your Shavasana as long as you can. We'll see you on Monday. Namaste.